chiefs across Utah raising new questions about oversight and transparency. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 5 o'clock. I'm Brian Schnee.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. A report from the Utah Investigative Journalism Project reviewed nearly 50 police departments, finding cases where officers failed to turn on their body cameras, sometimes
You don't say. They don't turn them on, and repeatedly don't turn them on. You don't say. Officers, sergeants, police chiefs, criminal police chiefs, don't turn them on. I wonder why. We know why. We know why. They don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be exposed for not being professional, violating citizen civil rights, and assaulting citizens and not getting it on camera. Always record these criminals.
Liv Kelleher spoke with the journalist behind that reporting. Liv, what is the nature of some of these violations?
Well, Brian, it ranges from officers unintentionally keeping their cameras off to officers repeatedly over prolonged periods failing to activate. This includes one officer formerly with the Unified Police Department who, for the first 3 months of 2023, didn't log any body cam footage at all. He also had over 100 incidences of failing to activate his body cam during that same period.
100 incidences of not turning on his body camera. Yeah, go figure.
Period. In at least one of those incidences, it was a case involving force.
The investigation, which looked at police records from 2019 to 2025, found 25 officers at 11 agencies failed to activate their body cameras when policy required it.
That's obviously a very small fraction of officers.
Body cameras need to be turned on all the time from the time the officer clocks in. He needs to turn it on, and it needs to be never turned off. That is the goal. That is the goal. These guys need to have their body cameras on every time they're on, period, all day long. If they're taking their break, go put it on the shelf. Turn it back on when you clock back in. Dated and time stamped. That is the goal.
But we were still interested in how those departments were handling those violations.
Sydney Chapman is the investigative journalist that led this report. She said the cases varied from situational mistakes to repeat non-activation over months.
Unfortunately, it sends a message that potentially they're hiding something.
Former Salt Lake City Police Chief Chris Burbank.
No, not potentially hide something. They do it on purpose. They know they violate citizens' rights. They know they do things wrong, not to policy, not to law, and also violate the law. That's what they do. That's what they do. All cameras all the time on these people.
Bank was instrumental in requiring body cams within that agency. He says that footage not only benefits the public, but the police themselves.
More often than not, video footage exonerates the officer's actions or proves that they did the right thing.
According to Chapman, there was no pattern of the types of incidents where officers failed to activate body cams. But for the most egregious offenders,
They just weren't turning them on, period, or at least not very often.
agencies
They weren't
across
turning
the
them
state
on.
require body.
They weren't turning them on. They're just not turning them on, period. They just don't care. You know, whatever. We'll do our job. And if something happens, well, you know, that's okay. We'll investigate ourselves and find no wrongdoing.
Cams have similar policies regarding the tech, requiring officers to turn them on anytime they're interacting with the public. Some agencies also mandate audits of body cam footage that theoretically would catch officers who are failing to follow protocol.
Are those audits happening?
No. In fact, I know for a fact.
Are those audits happening? Audits happening to find out. You know, like oversight, like accountability, like, investigations for it. Of course not. No, the audits are not doing. Well, that leaves it up to citizens to audit them, to audit what they do, where they do it, why they do it, where they go, how they interact with citizens. Record these people.
Because I've been involved in situations and cases in reviewing police agencies, and they, one, either don't have the capability or they don't have the interest in doing it.
Now, this report also names Ogden.
They don't have the interest in doing it. the auditing of the body cameras. Okay, not as they're just busy. We'll get to it. They have no interest in accountability or oversight or keeping police officers, police sergeants, police organizations, police chiefs to see what they're really up to and who they're rubbing elbows with. Okay? That's what the goal should be. Not, well, they're just not interested in it. Ogden is the worst, by the way. He's going to bring up Ogden.
West Valley, Salt Lake, and Unified Police Departments as the departments with officers with the most violations. I reached out to all 4 of those agencies and spoke with all of them but West Valley, who did not answer my call. They say they all take body cams very seriously. They have different...
Yeah, here's a West Valley, Utah City. Lot of problems up there with cops and crime and whatnot outside of Salt Lake. And they're not even going to answer her questions from the legacy dinosaur media. They're not going to answer it. You know why? They don't have to. They don't have to. Forcing these police departments into depositions and lawsuits for what they do is the only way to expose them, because look, they won't even answer a question from a journalist. See,
auditing processes, including self-reporting, sergeant audits, and reviews of all use of force cases. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.
Liv, thank you. This morning we asked Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill about the importance of police body cameras.
And for those agencies that use it, I think they find it beneficial. Not only this, in demonstrating...
Should be mandatory, sir, for those agencies that use it. No, mandatory, you criminal. That's bullshit.
They're lawful actions, but when there's a suspicion of unlawful action, this is the best defense that we have about the...
Which is every day, all the time, in every state, in every city, no matter where you go, there is a violation of civil rights by an officers and departments across the country, period.
Reality of the truth of what happened, right? So they're an essential component, and I think we just need to lean into it. But with the caveat, there are limitations to it. There are limitations to it.
Oh, there's always limitations, sir. Always. Yeah. And that means we're going to investigate ourselves and find no wrongdoing. And that's why you got to file a lawsuit when they pull this stunt.
The camera does not always capture the complete truth, but it does.
Bullshit, it does. Always film. Always be accountable to these criminals. Always do it. This guy's full of shit.
Capture a lot that can help us to decipher what that truth is.
Gill making those comments during a news conference where he there declined to file charges for the use of deadly force by the Salt Lake City Police Department against Christian Allen. The incident happened back in May when a woman called 911 saying her estranged husband, Christian Allen, was trying to break into her home. Investigators say that Allen threatened to kill her. Officers arriving at the scene and found Allen covered in gasoline and holding a knife. Body camera video showing the officers calling on the suspect to drop the knife before 12 shots were fired.